Hi, welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us back to Vanguard Metabolic Nutrition channel. I am Franco, a dietitian and diabetes specialist who restores metabolic health and puts diabetes into remission. So at Vanguard Metabolic Nutrition, our goal and intent is to help those who are struggling with weight loss, blood sugars, gut health, stubborn belly fat, and those who want to build lean muscle mass and optimize their metabolic health and take their lives back. So we are here to provide you with clear guidance, tools, skills, and knowledge to not only be able to achieve your health goals, but to be able to sustain them for long term. So we'll be talking about what metabolic dysfunction feels like in different groups and different stages of life. So you all can learn to recognize the signs and the symptoms early and know what action steps to take. So today we'll be talking about what metabolic dysfunction looks like and feels like in military personnel and veterans, and why these communities are at higher risk for metabolic dysfunction. So metabolic dysfunction can stem in from insulin resistance, which can really progress into the beginnings of diabetes, which connects with all the forward-leading causes of death in the United States, which are heart disease, Alzheimer's and dementia, various cancers, and diabetes itself. So this all begins with over 20 years ago. I started waking up grasping for air at night, not knowing what was going on and why I was feeling so exhausted and restless. I started feeling fatigued and really sleepy after meals. I started having increased pains. Anxiety was off the roof, and overall, I just felt ill. I was starting a cocktail of medications, feeling in a brain fog, and all this came as a shock as I was still in my early 20s and in relatively good physical shape. I even led a group of soldiers to help them meet their PT and physical standards. So all this, I did not understand what was going on. And when they drew labs and did studies, they found these cluster of metabolic disorders that included sleep apnea, gastric reflux, degenerative disc disease, arthritis, elevated cholesterols, and the beginning of diabetes. So I did not know where to go, felt hopeless and really alone in this whole process. And one day when I woke up on the side of a Texas highway because I had to pull over because I was so tired driving that I had to sleep, is when I decided then and there that I wanted to take control of my health and live life rather than just going through the motions. So I pursued a degree in human nutrition and food science with an emphasis in sports nutrition and exercise physiology. And then I became a registered dietitian and later a diabetes specialist. Throughout my time, I started learning and applying the techniques, skills to myself, and started noticing these significant improvements. I was able to feel better, sleep throughout the night, my energy returned, my sleep had improved, I had lost some of that stubborn belly fat and had rebuilt some of that muscle. My breathing had improved, my symptoms had lifted. I was exercising more, which helped improve my metabolic disorders. And all this helped me keep and put diabetes into remission, and have since then put it into remission. Since then, I have helped hundreds, if not thousands of people reverse their condition, reach their health goals, achieve their ideal body composition, get off medications, and take their lives back. So through my 13 years of experience and over 30,000 hours of practice, we have created a 5-step Vanguard Metabolic Protocol to help you dial in and build the systems that are going to help you individually, tailored for your lifestyle, achieve and sustain these health goals. So we're talking about why veterans and military are at increased risk for metabolic disorders today, and what signs and symptoms to look for. So Some of the signs that I mentioned are one of the first early warning signs of metabolic dysfunction. Number one is feeling fatigue. That tiredness, sleepiness, especially after meals, could be an indicator that your blood and insulin levels aren't well regulated. Second, you begin to see more fat accumulation around your abdominal area, and this could be problematic as some of this fat is also accumulating inside your organs, known as visceral fat, sticking to your vital organs, your heart, your liver, clogging up your vessels. The other symptom is changes in your digestion. You start feeling more acidity, get more heartburn, more bloating. These all could be signs that your gut immunity and your gut health has been disrupted. And over 80% of people have some form of metabolic dysfunction in their guts. So this is more common than not. The other sign and symptom would be that you start to notice some darkening skin around your neck or your body creases. Darker, thicker skin could be early signs of insulin resistance, especially in children and teens. And the other sign would be that you start to feel some tingling in your feet, some numbness. These could be the early signs of neuropathy. So what puts veterans and military at higher risk for these is that many members experience increased exposures, physical, environmental, and psychological stresses that a lot of people won't face. And these unique exposures and demands plays a heavy burden on the body, increased risk for metabolic disorders, sleep problems, weight gain, chronic pain, and diabetes, and of course, mental health challenges. So some of these environmental exposures that many veterans and military experience include exposures to dust storms, petrochemical fumes, burn pits, mold, lead, solvents, pesticides, and industrial pollutants. So not just veterans and military, but people who work with these chemicals have this increased risk. So these will disrupt hormones, increase inflammation, affect long-term metabolic health. TBI and reported blast exposures. So over 36% of veterans or military have some form of TBI, or which is a traumatic brain injury, and often resulting from explosions, vehicle collisions, concussive shock waves, or firing large caliber rounds, such as mortar and tank rounds. But also for people who have played contact sports, especially football, boxing, any of these impact to your head and causing these low-grade concussions can have disruption not only in your brain and your brain cells, but also in your gut bacteria, which will affect mood, sleep, inflammation, and blood sugar control. So all this can lead to sleep disruption, which 80% of veterans and military report having insufficient sleep, poor sleep quality, not sleeping enough, not being able to fall asleep, or staying awake. So many of these symptoms, including with pain management, stress, really make it difficult to maintain daily responsibilities and making it even more difficult to stay physically active. So some of the health challenges that include depression, anxiety, and PTSD are still a major concern amongst veterans. But some of these can also stem from TBIs, so those can blend in. And I was experiencing some of those symptoms myself, not knowing they were coming from TBI, but we'll talk more about this subject later. So all these combined with loneliness and social isolation can lead to food insecurity and alcohol drink. So over 40% of veterans have some form of food insecurity, but also active military, including lower enlisted. And now we know that alcohol is a known toxin. So, more than 40% of veterans report having some form of alcohol consumption that's, can be concerning and disrupt everything. As we know, it's a known toxin, so even small amounts will cause increase inflammation, disrupt gut health, raise blood sugar, and interfere with sleep. And it also increases the risk of several cancers, especially colon cancer, which is now linked to both chronic inflammation and alcohol intake. So, despite all these challenges, military personnel and veterans show remarkable resilience. They have a deep appreciation for life, and they have the ability to work through challenging and near impossible situations. So, these are 3 action steps that we can take now to reverse a progression, restore our health, and optimize our metabolic health. Number 1, you want to begin your day with light, movement, and clarity. So as you wake up, as soon as you can, turn on lights, get that sun exposure. This will signal your eyes and your brain to release the proper hormones that regulate energy, blood sugar, and hormonal distribution throughout the day. So this will improve your circadian rhythm and later improve your sleep at night. But whatever you do not fall victim to the entertainment trap or the virtual entertainment trap, which if we wake up and we start scrolling through social media or YouTube or anything first thing in the morning, it will disrupt our dopamine and reward system for the rest of the day. And these platforms are designed to keep us hooked with random reward, similar to a slot machine. So if you expend all your energy and drive and dopamine there, it'll be difficult for the rest of the day to do difficult tasks, perform physical activity, or even maintain focus. So action step number 2 is rebuild your gut with real food. So the more whole foods we eat, lean protein, fibers coming from fruits and vegetables, the better our gut bacteria will change. So it'll replace some of that inflammatory bacteria and grow and replicate some of the good bacteria, improving our overall gut immunity. And third is that you might want to support your body with evidence-based supplements. So veterans often carry injuries, exposures, metabolic stressors. They require targeted nutritional supports. So the proper nutrients can restore deficits, support healing, and help your metabolic function as a whole and as it should. So these are 3 supplements that we recommend veterans and military to consider starting with. Number 1 would be omega-3 fatty acids. This will reduce inflammation throughout the body, and especially for those who have been exposed to burn pits, petrochemical fumes, who had repeated blast waves. So omega-3 fatty acids supports brain recovery after these injuries, will help protect the immune system, improve cardiovascular health, and then also help support mood, memory, and focus. So recent studies do show that repeated blast exposures and concussive forces that disrupt immunity and alter gut bacteria. The next nutrient is magnesium, as it is widespread a deficiency amongst military and veterans, especially those also individuals living high stress lives with poor sleep, high alcohol use or caffeine use, chronic pain, who have taken courses of antibiotic. So these are mission-based eating patterns that all deplete magnesium. So low levels show up as anxiety, irritability, muscle cramping, insomnia, and fatigue. So restoring these levels will help improve and calm the nervous system down, stabilize blood sugars, and support muscle recovery. And lastly, you would want to consider some pharmaceutical-grade probiotics to help restore the lining of what might have been damaged, to replicate more of that good bacteria, drive out some of that inflammatory bacteria, and it'll affect mood, immunity, inflammation, and your metabolism. So especially for any veterans, military, they have in MREs been exposed to these environmental toxins or disruptors. Should consider this if you're having issues with digestion, bloating, constipation, reflux. That means that your gut health might need some repairing, and this probably occurs over 80% of the population. So we here, we exist to equip you, and especially veterans in military, with the tools, knowledge, and support to restore your metabolism, strengthen your health, and reclaim your lives. So remember, you are not broken, you are not alone, and you're capable or more of what you think you are. And we're here to walk with you every step of the way. So if you found this helpful and want to learn more about different metabolic dysfunctions, let us know, as we'll be covering different stages of life, different conditions that are all affected by metabolic dysfunctions, and what steps you can do to restore this and optimize your life. So if you know of a veteran or military personnel who might find this beneficial, please share this with them and share the resources that we'll have available that are free for all military and veteran personnel. So until next time, take care of your health. Thank you for joining us, and have a happy holidays.